I want to start off by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. And I want to say shalom to the brothers and sisters that are in this truth. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, man, we back with another lesson and basically an update on what's going on right now, you know, with the government and how this is headed towards World War 3. As you see on the in the title right here, it says U.S. to automatically register men for the draft starting in December. Okay, so we know, okay, that they're not doing this draft to fight with Iran. All right, they don't need a draft to fight Iran. They got enough troops to send over there to fight Iran. All right, but they know where this is headed to. All right, and this is all the doings of the Lord. Okay, this is the Lord putting that spirit, all right, in Babylon, all right, to move towards World War 3. That's why they're moving the way they're moving. Okay, stirring up the bee's nest. Okay, you know, puffing at their enemies, puffing up at their enemies, right? Salakia, give me 1 second. Hold that right there.
Yep.
So, you know, they're puffing up at their enemies. They're just, you know, they're going rogue, all right? Trying to make a greater America, you know, going against their allies, going against NATO. All this is according to prophecy, all right? But this enlistment right here, okay, registering men, automatically registering men, shows you that we are headed towards World War 3. This is the preparation, okay? They're already setting everything in motion, all right? So anybody that can see, all right, this is not about Iran, all right? This is about the Valley of Jehoshaphat, all right? So we're going to read, right? And this came out a day ago, all right? In Scripps News, I found it on Breaking News, all right? I'm going to read it again. It says, U.S. to automatically register men for the draft starting in December, all right? So this December, all right, there's going to be an automatic registration, right, for the draft. So it ain't going to be like you have a choice, all right? Your name's just going to be automatically put down. And once that knock on the door comes, all right, that's it. It's either you go, all right, or face imprisonment, okay? And we don't know how long, you know, this devil will put you in jail for, right? So it says, men in the United States will be automatically registered with the Selective Service System starting in December 2026 under a new law. See that? Under a new law. Okay? That's what? Micah 2 and 1. We're going to get that. Okay? It says what? The system maintains records for a potential military draft, though no draft is currently in place. And you know, they always speak like that. This is how the devil keeps you asleep. Oh, you know, there ain't gonna be no draft. You know, there ain't no draft in place. But why are they doing it? Okay, all this military conflict. Okay, rumors of wars. Okay, you see, this is that dragon speaking as a dragon, man. All right, them draconian laws. Okay, so it says, going on, it says previously, individuals were required to register with the Selective Service System, but a law signed by President Donald Trump in late 2025 shifts that responsibility to the federal government to streamline the process. So this was already in place. This was already, as they say, when you play chess, you know, you're already thinking 4 moves ahead. Okay, so this was already put in place. All right, and now it's going to be effective, right? It says, under the current system, men are required to register with the Selective Service System within 30 days of their 18th birthday. Late registration is accepted until age 26. So right now, they're requiring anybody from age 18 to 26 years old to automatically register, all right, for the draft, okay? And you see, and this is ultimately the Lord, all right, putting you in the line of fire because you don't want to listen. You don't want to turn back. All right. Everything we've been saying is coming to pass. All right, and all you people keep doing is closing your eyes and saying, nope, nope, we don't see it. The monster's in front of you, but you closing it. You know, that's like a little kid. You ever seen a horror movie or something where, you know, there's a demon in the room or something, and they put their sheets over their head and they close their eyes and they're like, it's not real, it's not real, it's not real, it's not real. But it is real, it's there. This is exactly what's going on with our people. And most of them are blinded, but those that do know and reject it, okay, they just blowing smoke up their ass, man. Right? Like a man being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and he's like, I don't believe it, you know? I'm just going to keep living. This ain't real. I was misdiagnosed. Okay? This is what's going on. You people are hoping in Babylon's well-being, okay, to keep going, all right? So this is what's going on right now, man. America is going to force people into this draft, man, all right? For the past 2 years, I believe it was 2023 and 2024, they missed their recruiting mark, which means what? All right? That they are understaffed, right, for a war, especially a big one like World War III, okay, which is going to be the battle that ends all battles. These people are spreading thin, all right? They're like hot water on Salakia, like water on hot pavement, okay? They are evaporating that fast, right? So this is where we at. And like I said in the beginning, why would they be drafting people if it was just all about Iran? Because they know World War III is imminent, all right? It's around the corner, okay? And they must prepare for it, all right? So they're going to force people to you know, join the draft, all right? And it's either fight or imprisonment, man. This is how this devil works, okay? And that's a cold cut for you niggas out there that'll sit there and say, we're not in captivity anymore. All right? Well, when they come knocking at your door, let's see if you got a choice. All right? Let's see if you got a choice then. All right? And this is part of Jacob's trouble. Okay? Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. But I want to get, real quick, okay? I want to get Micah. Here it is, Micah chapter 2 and verse 1.
There's the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand.
You see that? Because it is in the power of their hand. Okay? And that's what these devils are doing, because they are in power. So they are the law right now. Whatever they say goes. You see? So now they're the ones registering you. You don't have to no longer go. Now all of a sudden they're the ones registering you. You now they like, you're gonna go and that's it. Point blank period. Right? And this devil gave you a deadline. All right? But in reality, as we always tell you, this is the Lord. The Lord's putting you in this position, right? You didn't want to seek comfort with the Lord. You didn't want to trust, right, in the Lord as your shield and buckler. Or now you're going to have to trust in the so-called white man's military power, which eventually is going to go against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai in the second return of Yahweh Shai, right? As it says in Revelations, right, chapter 12 and verse 7, man, right? When Michael and his angels fought against Satan and his angels, okay? That's going to be that war, all right? In the middle of World War III, when you read 2nd Ezra chapter 13, okay, the multitude gathered together to subdue the man that came out of the waters, right? Out of the Shemayim, which is Yahweh Shai, okay? That's going to be the end of all things right there, all right? So this is what you're really enlisting to, man. You wanted to go against the Lord, all right? There you go, all right? Now you got no choice. The doors of mercy are closing, all right? And soon you're going to be finding yourself in World War III and then fighting against the Lord, right? Let's go to the book of Revelation, okay? Let's go to Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14.
There's the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past.
Right, the second woe is past. Woe, right, is the world war, all right? Destruction, right? So the second one is past.
And behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. I'm pretty sure you remember, right? What year was the second World War?
1914. 1942, I believe, 1942, 1943, somewhere around there.
Right. Do you remember how many people died?
72 million.
72 million, man. Right? And the third war cometh immediately, man. So we're talking about what? 1942 to 2026, let's say 2027, okay? We're looking at 68, about 80, 85 years, right? 85 years, okay? And this time, we're talking about more than 70 million. What did you say, 70 million?
75.
75, that was American soldiers, right?
Yeah.
Con. So imagine, this time it's going to be in the hundreds of millions, man, because they're going to force you people to fight, man. All right? Now remember, this time it ain't going to be like America's not going to get touched. Okay? America's going to get hit. All right? But to show you that this is the Lord's doing. All right? Let's get the book of Joel, chapter 2 and verse 20.
There's a book of Joel, chapter 2 and verse 20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things.
See that? So this is the Lord removing that northern army to that desert land over there, man. All right? Okay? Right there. Right in between the Red Sea. Okay? This is the Lord's doing. He's going to remove you. He's removing you to go fight the battle of Armageddon, man. Armageddon, right? Okay? The Lord is removing you. You see? This is what it's talking about, man. The northern army to a land that's barren and desolate, right? That's the Lord. That's why the Lord prepared the way, right, for the kings of the east when he dried up the Euphrates River. Okay? Had Russia sending weapons, right, into Iran and all that. That's all according to prophecy, man. This is all the Lord's doing, man. All right? Esau thinks he's doing something, and all he's doing is working for the Lord on the left-hand side on the low level, because Satan, right, is working for the Lord on the left-hand side. Okay? All these decisions are being brought by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, showing you that the Lord is preparing the final battle, okay, where he's going to judge these nations, man. Right? Let's get that also in the book of Joel, chapter 3, and start at verse 9.
There's a book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 9. Proclaim, yea, this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up.
You see that? You see that? Read that one more time.
Proclaim, yea, this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men.
You see that? Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. All right, so this is what it is. Prepare the preparation, right, of World War III. Go ahead.
Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords.
Beat your plowshares into swords, and that's what these nations are doing. All right, they're no longer investing in minerals and spices and other things or anything like that. They're investing in weaponry, right? Missiles, tanks, aircrafts. All right, go ahead.
And your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Let the weak say, I am strong, right? Because everybody is caught up to your technology. You're no longer fighting, people in horses and sandals, right? Now they got weaponry just like you, all right? They're no longer riding around with one clip, right, on a camel, okay? So let the weak say, I'm strong.
Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about.
Gather yourselves together round about, okay? And the Lord is already putting that alliance of Ezekiel chapter 38, all right, with Russia, Iran, China, all their allies, okay? Turkey, all right? And then you're going to have America, the Israelis and their allies, okay? You see, and let the weak say I'm strong also, Remember, these nations now got nuclear weapons. Okay? America can no longer say we're going to nuke you as they did when they did to Japan and everybody was afraid. All right? Now a lot of people got that nuclear capability as well, especially Russia, especially China. Okay?
Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
You see that? For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about, okay? In the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's going to be World War III. This is what the Lord is doing, gathering the nations, all right? Gathering the nations for World War III to play out exactly where he said it was going to play out. And you see it, okay? You see that everything is being stirred up over there in where the place you call the Middle East, all right? And that's why, Iran's giving these guys help, all right? Russia is sending them weapons and helping out, okay? And soon, this is going to be full-blown. All we're waiting for is that digital chip, as we always say, all right? We're waiting for that digital currency to come out, all right? Because after that, all bets is off, man, right? This is prophecy. If you don't believe, that's fine, all right? But you're going to feel it. You're going to be in the midst of it, all right? And it ain't your will. It's the Lord's will, okay? You're not going to be able to escape the judgment of the Lord. Like I said, when they come knocking on that door and they drag your ass out, okay? They give you a quick 2-week training. Here, this is how you shoot your gun. Here, this is that. Here, you change the clip this way, boom, boom. Now you're in an airplane on your way to the Middle East, all right? This is the Lord's doing because you ain't want to listen, okay? Let's get a couple more scriptures. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. All right, let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, right? And let's go to verse 22.
There's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, and verse 22. A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken?
See that? So the sound, right? There's a sound of battle in the land, and of great destruction, man. World War III, man. All right? World War III. This is going to be the battle to end everything, man. Nuclear destruction, right? Go ahead.
How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations?
How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations, man? All right? Because guess what? This place is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire. This place is prophesied to be destroyed and never inhabited again. All right? So you people that are going to be dragged to war, all right? They ain't no plane ticket coming back. There's just going to be body bags, right? Waiting for you. And if not, you're going to be left in the field for the ravens and the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field, man, to feast on. Okay? But there's a great destruction coming, right, to America, man. Go ahead.
I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found, and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord.
See that? Because you have striven against the Lord, man. You are. That's why we call you the devil on the planet Earth. You have striven against the Lord. All right? Everything that the Lord has ordained, you try to go against it, man. The law, statutes, and commandments, the ways of life, nature, everything. You have corrupted the earth, all right? You have gone against the Lord from the beginning, man, since Cain, sacrificing the wrong things, okay? You have striven against the Lord. That's why the Lord marked Cain. He reserved his ass for the day of destruction, okay? Go ahead.
The Lord hath opened his armory.
His armory, man. His armory is them nukes. Them thermonuclear missiles.
And hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation.
And has brought forth the weapons of his indignation. And guess what? Who are the people that the Lord has indignation with forever? Go to Malachi chapter 1 and 4 and it'll show you. Esau, Edom. Okay? The so-called white man. Go ahead.
For this is the work of the Lord, Yahweh, power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans.
In the land of the Chaldeans, which is here in America, right, and wherever these so-called white people are, but this is their headquarters, right?
Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps.
Oh, Salakia, that was the point right there on 25, right? So the Lord said, right, that he's opening up his armory, right? He brought forth the weapons of his indignation, okay? And you see that these people that are not aware of what's going on are about to get a knock on their door, all right? Especially you Jakes, all right? Especially you Jakes. Jacob's trouble is coming for you. It's coming for us as well. But our hope is in the Lord, okay? Not AR-15, okay, or a military tank, all right, or F-15, okay? Because at the end of the day, whether you get taken out in the middle of World War III, or you get taken out when your Hawashai comes back, either way, okay? It's a lose-lose situation for you, okay? But our hope is in the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Because destruction is coming, all right? And we advise you to return to the Lord, but we know you ain't, because it's all according to prophecy, right? That's why World War III is being prepared, and that's why this registry is going to happen, man. The Lord is allowing it. The Lord's allowing this evil to come. That's why the Lord said, I have created the wicked for the day of evil. And the wicked is Esau, Edom, the same men that are registering you, right, to go to fight this war, right? That you're not going to survive. You have zero chance, all right? No matter how many scenarios you try to play out, the end of it is death, point blank, period, all right? So let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Let's close out with Jeremiah chapter 51. And verse 12 and 13.
There's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 12. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes.
You see that? And those watchmen, right? We're the watchmen, man. Right now we're reporting what's going on, but we're reporting the true news, which is the prophecies, all right? We're not going to blow smoke up your ass. We're letting you know why this is happening. Okay? And we're giving you warning.
For the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon.
You see that? So the Lord, this is going to come to pass. Okay? Only his counsel shall stand. You see what I'm saying? So this is according to his word. All right? And he's against Babylon. But here you are being registered to fight for Babylon. And what do you think is going to happen? I brought this out yesterday. Not second Ezra, Salakia. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 15. Okay? What does it say? Isaiah chapter 13 verse 15, it says, all those that are found with them shall be thrust through. All right?
O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come.
You see that? You that read that one more time.
O thou that dwellest upon many waters.
You dwell upon many waters, and you got over 800 U.S. bases all over the earth, man. All right? You're that great whore that sits on many waters, man. Okay? Babylon the Great.
Abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness.
See that? Your end has come. All right? Your end has come. So there's no winning. All right? This registry that you're doing, no matter how many people you gather, you know, numbers and strength, all this and that, okay, how long they train, okay, you're only prolonging your death, okay, because your death is already written. Babylon the Great is going to get taken out, all right, a great destruction is coming, okay, and the Lord is preparing World War III, all right, and we see it, all right, and it's already around the corner, okay, World War III is being prepared, all right, so either you with the Lord, all right, or expect that knock on your door, all right, to be dragged out to the place you call Middle East for the Valley of Jehoshaphat, all right? So, Lord willing, this was edifying, and with that, we're going to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekakwadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth, and I want to say Shalom to the brothers and sisters that are in this truth. Shalom.
Shalom.
Abba Abba.
Abba.
Kwame Asharala.
Come Yeshua.
Shalom.
Shalom.